Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Property Breakfast and happy Father's Day to you. This week we've got news on commercial property, the market after the stamp duty holiday, some local planning news and some other local news as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm Adrian.Jones. Starting with some property news, commercial news. This week the deadline for when companies don't have to pay rent has been extended from the 30th of June for a further 9 months. So landlords have been not allowed to evict somebody for non-payment of rent during this period, and it's been extended. Now, this is probably quite good news for a business coming out of COVID, which is quite viable and it enables them to spread their cash flow. But landlords are really concerned that it is just kicking the can down the road for companies who are really no longer viable and just increasing their debt levels, and they can't do anything about it until after March 2022, or indeed that some viable companies are just using it as an excuse not to pay rent. It will be interesting to see what happens in April when all of this comes to an end, and I'm glad I'm not in the commercial property sector on that basis. It coincides with the same week where a judge has also ruled that a retail unit in central London should have its rent assessed at half of what it was in 2011. That commercial precedent could have a massive impact on rents in prime West End London. So again, watch this space on that in the commercial market. That's probably going to have where the biggest impact of COVID is in the property world. Back to residential, which is much more my bag. We are almost at the end of the stamp duty holiday, which was giving an exemption up to £500,000, which could save people up to £15,000 in stamp duty, and that ends on the 30th of June. And thankfully, all bar one of the sales that I have dependent on that have now exchanged or completed. It's undoubtedly fueled a very buoyant, very busy market, along with the end of Brexit and of course the full lockdown in COVID, where people really weren't buying property. So those elements combined have created this really quite frantic, hectic market. We will see in due course what's going to happen with the end of that stamp duty holiday. The general consensus, and at the moment what we are seeing locally, is that although it's less hectic, less frantic, there is still a very, very healthy property market locally. A bit of local news. Planning has now been submitted on the Travis Perkins site by Stratfield Homes. It would appear to be a really well designed scheme, only 9 units. It's potentially developing the sort of houses that we need in the village. As a result of the local consultation as well, the elevations have been improved to make the scheme far more attractive. It was submitted this week. It will probably be online for you to look at in the course of this week when it actually gets put online. I mentioned last week as well that there is a planning application proposed for some affordable housings in Hartley Wintney in Hares Lane. If you missed the Zoom calls this week on that, I've put a link on the text to this Facebook post for to the Parish Council website. And that's so you can have a look at the scheme. It's for 17 houses in Hares Lane, and that gives you a chance to look at it and make some comments to all the parties involved. I've also put a link to the survey on garden villages and specifically Shapley Heath. If you're opposed to this scheme, as everybody I meet has been opposed to it, you have until the 5th of July to complete the survey. So do please go there and complete that if you are opposed to the scheme. You may also want to add your opposition by joining some of the Facebook pages, Say No to Shapley Heath, or We Heart. There's a lot of really good discussion as to why it would seem to be an inappropriate development and the scale of it. One bit of local news. I'm disappointed to announce that this year's annual charity match between Hartley Wintney and Hampshire has been cancelled. The club have tried every way they can really to try and hold the event, particularly as all of last year's 250th anniversary celebrations were cancelled. But just in the face of the COVID that we are still dealing with, particularly when we weren't given complete release of lockdown, it was just thought that there are too many risks involved in running an event on what is an open public space. You can still come and support Hartley Wintney against the MCC, which is going to take place the day before on Thursday the 22nd of July. And COVID allowing, next summer we'll have the full cricket week with the ball on the Saturday as well. And Hampshire are proposing a benefit match that day for Fidel Edwards, the West Indian Test cricketer who's played for a number of years for Hampshire. So let's fingers crossed that all of that will come to fruition. And a bit of Keller Williams news. Well, as I've mentioned, the local market, the stamp duty holiday comes to an end. Thank you to my dog there, that's Margot, making an entrance for the first time ever on Facebook Live post. It proves that it's live, I suppose, as well. So the local market is still very buoyant and very positive. If you've been looking to move, and perhaps you've been worried about how fast the market's moving and how quickly properties have been selling, now is a really good time to restart your search, or indeed start it for the first time, because although things are busy, they're not quite as hectic and frantic as they have been. If you're thinking of selling, there is still a huge demand locally for 3 and 4 bedroom family houses right across the price range. So if you are thinking, just give me a call and I can come and see you and let you know my thoughts on that. This week we also agreed a sale on a 3 bedroom bungalow in Shapley Heath. As a result, I've got a number of disappointed bungalow buyers. So if you have a bungalow and you are thinking of coming onto the market, please do give me a call, because I've got a number of people very motivated and very keen to buy a bungalow in the area as well. I also wanted to showcase something we've just done, which is a new property video on a fabulous 5 bedroom house in Winchfield. I've put a link to it on the text to this post as well. It's indicative of what an agent like myself, a bespoke agent, will do for you to sell your property. This particular Victorian house is a fantastic looking house. The pictures just weren't doing it justice, but by doing a video walkthrough of the house, it just proves what a beautiful property it is. So go and have a look at the link that's on the post to this, and you can see what we will do to help sell your house, whatever that may be. If you want to take a look at the conversion of the Lamb in Hartley Wintney, I now have access to the building on Saturdays when there is no work being done. It is in mid-construction, but it's a really good time to go in early. You can make some amendments and changes to the specification and layouts, and possibly even to the kitchens. So give me a call if you want to come and have a look at it on Saturdays, probably first thing in the morning, and just give me a call. There's the availability there is for 1 bedroom apartments and townhouses, 1 and 2 bedrooms, sorry, and they range from 320,000 to 575,000. All of the properties I have for sale, I've put a link on the post as well, so you can click on that to see everything else that I have available here with Keller Williams in Hartley Wintney. That's it for this week. If you want to get hold of me, just give me a call on 01252 988 488 or Adrian.jones at kwuk.com. Thank you as always for watching. If you can like, share, comment and follow, that would be absolutely fantastic. I hope you're all able to enjoy a happy Father's Day, and do show them some love, because they're not going to be here forever. I'll see you all next week. Thank you.